Okay, my first tip to practice efficiently on the piano is to practice and play your hands separately. When you play your hands together on a song that you're working on, it can easily affect mistakes, and then it'll just be this big mess. If you take out your left hand, focusing on your right hand, or if you are playing something on a specific hand, take one of them out and then practice it. Because when you're playing your hands separately, not only using your time wisely and efficiently, you are practicing at a slower pace. Because the way I do it is I will practice with my right hand first, and then very slowly, do the same thing with my left hand. And once you boost your confidence that you can do it and you're doing a good job by your song that you're doing on the piano, play a little faster and see how that might feel. And if that makes you feel comfortable, that's the same pace when you go into your lesson, and your teacher will be very impressed from what you are doing. Because sometimes Kelvin tells me, like, what was your approach when you're playing the song? And that always seems to work for me, because I don't, a 30-minute challenge did kind of work, but I'm much better playing my hands separately from the amount of time, because research has shown that we should play piano for 20 to 30 minutes, because that's what the max to practicing is for. My next tip to practice efficiently is to replay your mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes, because that is a part of life. Everyone makes it when they practice. But that doesn't allow us to stop doing it. To keep going, you just need to stay calm and don't let the troubles in your head interfere with your head. Because if it goes to your head, then you might feel the overwhelming in here, and then you start to sweat, and then just be this mess and be overwhelmed, which is not the most comfortable feeling to feel, because when I get overwhelmed, I do the really intense breathing, but Kelvin calms me down. But anyway, so when we make mistakes, we always own up to it, and that's why we practice to not make those mistakes again. So I wouldn't recommend doing it 10 times, because that's too much to do. That's too much to replay it vigorously. The best way to do it is to practice it 5 times. For example, if I mess up on something, and that doesn't mean I keep going. I stop myself and I'm in the zone, and I replay it 5 times. When you got it 5 times, most likely when you play both hands together, it will sound perfectly and smooth, which everyone wants to hear, because no one wants to hear a song that feels rushed and being overwhelmed at the same time, which is not comfortable to feel. Okay, it is currently the next day. That's why I'm wearing a different outfit. So my next tip to practice piano efficiently is to don't get frustrated. I know it's so hard not to get frustrated at ourselves, because we are people and we are stuck with so many emotions, like upset, frustration, disappointment, anger, and all those emotions out there. But sometimes it can be quite tricky to learn an instrument, and it doesn't take one day to master. It takes years because I played the piano for the last 7 years, and I have to tell you, when I first started out, it wasn't easy, but I didn't get frustrated at myself, and I started to get frustrated at myself. So to avoid it, the frustration, is that we need to remind ourselves that no matter what we're doing, we need to stick to it. We can't just give up like straight away, because that's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to keep at it and practice, because it takes time to master something. Even though it's a piece that you love doing, but you are having problems with it, don't get frustrated, because it's going to create more frustration in the future. But if you don't get frustrated at yourself, then you'll be a lot more positive about yourself. Trust me. Okay, my final tip to practice efficiently on the piano is it's okay to mess up. That's what life is about. We all make mistakes, and we can always own up to our mistakes and redo our mistakes, because usually some mistakes, it can't be resolved, but if it's an instrument, it can easily be resolved. If you watch my other tips, like play your hands separately, that's going to help you to not mess up as much. I know it's frustrating to mess up, but you can't be hard and tough on yourself, because sometimes when I play something and I get frustrated sometimes, but that's why we have teachers. They help us to give pointers. Even though we mess up, that's when the teacher comes in and not like tell you what to do. That's not what teachers are meant for. Because my own piano teacher doesn't get frustrated at me. He just says that you're doing this great. You're doing so great what you're doing, and can you play this word change? That's what he always says to me. And I found out that's the helpful tip that works for me. But every piano teacher out there is different in what they say to their students. So we just need to keep in mind that it's okay to mess up, because it's part of life, and we can't just give up from what we're doing and to feeling good inside the way we feel, because it is important to make good choices and learn from our own mess ups and mistakes, because that's life.